Hello there, Michael Krug, board certified health coach, and today I want to share my journey of doing a 50K, which is 31 miles. So a 50K ruck with a 30-pound backpack that I did in the summer of 2024. It was a lot of fun, honestly. I am very grateful to my friend Jeff. He does ultra marathons. He's an Ironman. He's someone who he did the experiment with me, and it was a ton of fun. Honestly, we had my sister, my brother-in-law, my fiance, some friends, people who came out and did different legs of the journey with us. And in this video, I'm going to show you some clips from the ruck itself. I'm going to show you how I prepared for it, how I trained, what I did nutrition wise, and then my biggest takeaways from doing this ruck, as well as the aftermath and how my body felt. So before we jump in, if you are interested, I have a free online community called the Inspired Wellbeing Community. It's a growing group. There's a lot of people in there with a lot of insight, a lot of information, and people who are on their own health and well-being journey. It's a great place to come get questions answered, to be able to even provide insight to other people, because everyone's on a different spot in their journey. And ultimately, it's a fun place to learn and grow together. Also, within the Inspired Wellbeing Community, there are free courses. I do a live monthly Q&A call, and it's a great place where you can connect with me to get your health questions answered and to continue to make progress towards your wellness vision. So as we jump in, I just want to talk first and foremost about why I did a 50K 31-mile ruck. So there's a couple different people I follow who actually inspired me to do this. The first being Zach Hommel is his name. You can find him on Twitter. He's a men's coach, and he does a lot of different fitness things. He is a hybrid athlete, he calls himself. He's done an Ironman. He is also a competitive power lifter and everything in between. So just seeing other people in the space who are able to do these tough and challenging challenges, it definitely was some inspiration. And then I actually did this as a part of the Live Hard year. So if you're not familiar, Live Hard is the full year-long program, of which 75 Hard is the first phase. I will be making a video about my Live Hard journey. I did complete the Live Hard year, and I'll share more about that in that video. But I was able to do this as part of phase 3 of the Live Hard year, and it was definitely a challenge. The program Live Hard is about challenging yourself to do hard things and to commit to greatness day in and day out. So it definitely was in alignment with that. And then also, I've had my own limiting beliefs around myself when it comes to activity, specifically longer endurance events. I've had 4 knee surgeries. I've had doctors over the years tell me that I shouldn't run. I shouldn't do things like a 50K ruck would be bad or unhealthy for me. And I love proving people wrong. That's something about me that, again, when people tell me I can't do something, it's more fuel on the fire to be able to do it. And to this point, I had never done any sort of long distance events like this. I've done 15-mile hikes, and, I don't run very often. So to be able to actually commit to doing a 50K ruck like this was just, for me, a huge mental barrier to break through, and something that has given me momentum going forward. So that's what brought me to want to do this. So then, how did I train? Like, what was my physical training getting ready for the ruck? There was a couple things that went into it. So one, I'm big into lifting weights, resistance training. I love moving dumbbells, barbells. I've even used machines lately. I've done power training, speed training, all of these things. So I think for me, having a good muscle base and being strong as an individual definitely helped when you're carrying a 30-pound backpack. I have big trap muscles, so I was actually able to put the backpack on my traps, and it didn't hurt my shoulders right away, which was important. So my resistance training definitely helped. But then I actually committed to doing this ruck. So we did the ruck in July, and I committed to doing it before I'd ever done a ruck in my entire life. I committed to doing it in like late April. So I started rucking in May, and in May alone, I did over 20 days with the ruck. I did some days, one day where I had 210 minutes of rucking, so that was over 3.5 hours, just about 3.5 hours, over 3.5 hours of a ruck. And then most of those rucks were anywhere from 45 to 90 minutes. So definitely, if you're training to do something, the actual movement itself is a great movement to do, which for me, I did rucking. I also did a run in that time in May, and I did some bike rides as well as some extra mobility. So those all helped me. And then even going into June, I'm looking at my spreadsheet here. I've been tracking all of my fitness, my nutrition, my weight, my water, everything since May 1st, and I will be making a video about that as well, this experiment. I've lost some weight in doing this, even with averaging 3,800 calories a day, which is pretty interesting. But in June was about the same. In June, I did 19 days with the ruck, and then in July, I tapered off a bit. it, I had a streak of 4 days where I did a ruck. But besides that, those were the only 4 days, July 5th through the 9th. And then I did the actual ruck on the 13th. So I definitely was training for it. I was getting used to what it felt like carrying 30 pounds on my back, getting used to what it was like, going up hills, finding that point where, you kind of want to quit, but you don't, you keep going. So rucking in itself was great. And then within this as well, a lot of walking as well. So I play golf and I walk when I play golf. I also go for walks every day. So that definitely helps as well, just with your base level cardiovascular fitness. And then, like I mentioned, the resistance training. So I think for me, it was something where, yes, training for it. I mean, had I not been rucking before doing the 50K, I probably would have had a lot harder time. I think I still probably would have finished it, but it would have been more of a challenge. But because I had a good understanding of what that felt like on my back, what it felt like to go a little bit longer distances while carrying 30 pounds, definitely helped a ton. So that's what it looked like for me to train and get ready for it. And then we'll dive in. I recorded some separate videos before the event of the equipment that I used, the food that I prepared, what I actually ate the day before. So we'll jump into that. Okay, so what I'm using for this ruck pack, I just wanted to show you really quick the equipment that I'm using, equipment, quote unquote. Okay, so this is my ruck pack. You can see it is not like a real ruck pack. It's just, honestly, it's a backpack that I got for free on a Facebook ad. I will say it's pretty durable, pretty strong. I would say if you're gonna get serious into rucking, probably invest in one. Actually, my reward for myself for doing this, I'm probably gonna get a Go Ruck, which is probably the nicest brand you can get. But what I do here is I just have the main pocket, and there is two 15-pound dumbbells in here. And then when I load my bag, most of it will be in this pocket, as well as quick access stuff. The one thing about this bag that's unfortunate is it doesn't have water bottle holders, so I'll have to rely on Jeff to probably hand me water, which should be fine. Okay, so these are the shoes that I wore for the ruck. I'm actually recording this after the ruck. Zero Trail Runners. I can't actually remember the style. I got them 2 days before. They served me well. I love Zero shoes, especially if you have wide feet. These are Zero Drop as well, hence the brand Zero. And again, definitely, I recommend these shoes highly. They've been great for my feet. I don't know about 31 miles. That probably wasn't the best for the feet, but these shoes definitely held up well, and I appreciated having them. It's the night before the ruck, and I was instructed to eat a lot of carbohydrates and protein. So I am gonna make a bunch of rice noodles, which have some protein, but mostly a lot of carbohydrates. I'm probably gonna have 3 servings of this, so that'll be close to 120 grams of carbs. Also, not much fiber. I love fiber. You guys know I think it's super important. And if you're gonna be walking for 12 miles, fiber makes you regular, and I want that, but not maybe that regular. And then over here, I'm just cooking up some ground turkey. Again, nothing special. I'll just spice it, and I'll probably just mix it in with some soy sauce with the rice noodles. Looking to get probably 200 grams of carbs in tonight. That's my goal. Also, just so you guys know that I'm not a total Neanderthal, I am going to make the rice noodles taste good. So I'm just doing some soy sauce, a little bit of lemon or lime juice, I should say. I'm also going to throw in some hoisin sauce and some salt and pepper, maybe some other spices. So I'm not just eating a bowl of plain rice noodles, but it does look pretty good. Okay, so here is the night before the ruck meal. This is 4 of those rice noodle cakes from Blue Dragon, about 150 carbs. This whole bowl is about 1,700 calories, and I've got about 12 ounces of steak and 12 ounces of turkey. So that's what I'm doing to push me through. This is about 150 grams of carbs, about 140 grams of protein. And fat, there's, probably 40 to 50 grams of fat, and then obviously the sauce. I didn't even calculate that, but hoping that this will get me through a good portion of the morning tomorrow. I don't know why people like watching people eat. I kind of like it though, actually. So maybe I'll start doing that. It's looking pretty good. If I ever start doing ASMR videos where I'm eating, just come to my house and punch me in the face. I don't know about that. And if you don't know ASMR, I actually don't even know what it stands for. But it's when people eat or do other things and it's like loud. Microphones with the gain turned all the way up. So this is my first time ever filming myself eat. It's kind of weird. I don't know if I'll keep doing it. I guess if you like this kind of stuff, let me know. I will say too, I eat a lot of food. I haven't talked about this. Well, I'm actually gonna make a separate video, but I've been tracking all of my calorie intake since May 1st. just as I mean, I used to do it and then I stopped, and now I'm doing it again just cause. And my eating habits are interesting. I just eat a lot of food, a lot of protein. I think I'm averaging like 270 grams of protein a day. I'm sure someone will tell me that's too much. I can tell them, whatever. I will say, I don't eat like this every day. I actually don't really make rice noodles very often. I do probably eat like 1.5 pounds of meat a day for protein. But yeah, this is not a normal meal. A 1700 calorie bowl of rice noodles and meat is, like I said, I'm rucking 31 miles tomorrow. So I guess we'll see. Mind you too, I didn't do a lot of research when I decided I wanted to do this ruck. I literally just asked my buddy Jeff. I was like, hey, you want to do a 50K ruck? He's like, sure. So I started training for it. Like I started rucking, but I've never done like an ultra marathon or an Ironman. I've never even done a triathlon, like a sprint. Like I have no idea. I've never had a foray into the endurance fitness space. Now, I have done probably the longest hike I've ever done is maybe 14 miles, but again, not carrying 30 pounds. I don't think it was 95 degrees out. I don't know if it'll be 95 tomorrow, actually. Might only be 92. Hopefully it's humid, too. Which actually is another funny point about this whole ruck thing. When I asked my buddy if he wanted to do it, he was like, yeah. I was like, I guarantee you, the day we do this ruck, it is either going to be thunderstorms or it's going to be over 90 degrees. And it looks like we're going to get the latter of those two. And I'm going to take a giant-ass bite of food. So it reminds me of my original thought, right? So I didn't do a lot of research going into this. I obviously have an understanding of human metabolism and how nutrition impacts performance and everything. And my buddy just said to eat a bunch of carbs today. So I think after this meal, I'll be at tracked at, I think I was already at like 180 on the day, and this is 150. So I'll be at like 330 going in tomorrow. It's pretty good. The glycogen stores in the muscles should be pretty good. And then I'm like prioritizing protein just because I want to maintain muscle mass. I'm trying to be a beast. So yeah. All right, so when it comes to what I'm going to be eating while we're rucking, I got a box of Mary's Gone crackers, which I love. I've got some dried dates because they didn't have dried apples. I wanted those apple chips, but I couldn't find them. We got dried blueberries, and then I've got some dried figs, not a ton. Obviously, I'm not going to eat all 4 of these bags. I might eat the whole thing of Mary's Gone crackers, but I'm just planning to put these in separate baggies. I actually might do some mixes, things like this, just to bring with me while I'm walking, as well as the RX bars, which I can't remember if I showed, but let me bring in these with as well. So those will be great. Having some different textures and flavors will probably be nice. And then, yeah, I got this Vita Zero. Jess got me this vitamin water type stuff that's going to have some electrolytes and whatnot. Also, I will be bringing some LMNT, these single serve electrolyte packets, which are delicious and great. And they're going to, again, hopefully keep me fueled and going electrolyte wise for this ruck in 90 whatever degree heat. But back to this one here, the oats. So I'm going to be making, that was very Minnesotan of me, oats. So the oats, I can't not say it like that. Okay, anyway, I'm going to make oats. Half a cup here is a serving. So I'm going to do one of those. This will expand quite a bit when it gets water. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to add water. And then I'm going to do like 1 tablespoon of nut butter and probably a 1/2 tablespoon of maple syrup per. So each of these little container spots will have about 300 calories. And again, I'm going to be stopping at the car and at the cooler several times. I'm going to bring probably 3 like that. And then I'll show you the other one with the yogurt. Okay, so for the oats, I did a 1/2 cup. And then actually I added a 1/2 cup of oats, 3/4 cup of water, and then actually as I was cranking the salt into the oats, it broke. So this one got a lot of salt. You can kind of see it in there. These two got probably an adequate amount. So this is going to be a salty one, salty B. That's what happened. I was doing it off camera because the salt grinder takes 2 hands. And then what I'm going to do is just add a little bit of maple syrup, nothing too crazy, to give a tiny bit of sweetness to each one. And then what I will do here to finish these up is just stir them up. They'll sit in the fridge overnight. They will get nice and plump and good to go. And then I'll put a thing of almond butter, actually, just like a little dollop right on top when they're done. Actually, I'll just show you that. Okay, so I realized that adding the dollop on top is going to be tough because I broke my tripod and I'm holding my phone with one hand. But you can just imagine this. It'll be plump. Maybe I'll just take a video tomorrow and show you what it looks like. Okay, so with the other 3 containers, I actually changed my mind because I feel like oats are probably going to do more for me than Greek yogurt tomorrow as I ruck 31 miles. So these are all the same oats as before, half a cup of oats, just a little tiny bit of maple syrup, and then roughly 1 to 2 tablespoons of Kirkland nut butter. And then I'm going to add, actually I'm going to do chia pudding type of thing, or just Greek yogurt with chia seeds. So we're going to put a decent amount on there for all of these. And then I'm also going to add some frozen blueberries to that as well. All right, so you can see that I mixed the chia seeds in, and then I'm just gonna kind of bury these blueberries. They're gonna sit overnight, and then it's so nice when you mix it up, it gets nice and like a nice blueberry purple tint to it, and it's just a delicious snack. I've actually, historically I've not been a big dairy eater or Greek yogurt eater. I've added it back into my diet, and I've really enjoyed it actually for many reasons. The protein is great. I feel like my digestion has also helped from it. So that's what we got. That's our little basic meal prep for the big ruck tomorrow. All right, so next I have some clips from the ruck itself. I will admit I did not get as many videos while rucking as I would have liked to. Part of that was because I put my phone away for a good amount of it. I noticed when I was looking at my phone, it slowed me down, and I was trying to keep a pretty good pace. And also, as we continue going, I just got more and more tired. So I didn't take a ton of videos while rucking. Some of them are going to be like vertical because they're taken from Instagram. But I hope you enjoy some of the content from the actual ruck. All right, just getting to Lebanon Hills. Got Jeff Bauer here. Oh shit, gonna put our shoes on. Definitely ain't rucking in Birkenstocks. So here we go. Here we go. Woo! We're like just over a mile in. I've already got probably 30 mosquito bites. How about you, Jeff?
Probably got 31.
Yeah, so here we go. All right, a little update. I am up to 111 mosquito bites. How about you, Jeff? Oh, just got on my fucking neck.
I think I'm at fucking 150.
Oh, jeez. We keep going. All right, we are done with the initial 4-mile loop. Now the next phase is 3 9-mile loops. So, Jeff, anything to share?
Just ready to crush it.
Meeting Michael and Jeff with mosquito repellent. I'm at Holland Lake right now. I think they're coming this way. In fact, I think I can hear Jeff's voice through the woods. Bringing them iced coffee. They are making great time. There is some thunder, which, when Michael and I talked about this, we said, would you rather have it be 90 and humid or storm?
Okay, we got Tom here, Katie, Jeff, Jess. We are about 8.5 miles in. I don't know if you can see, but this is coming our way. Initially, I predicted that we would either get storms or 90 degrees, and I think we might get both today. So we're very lucky for this 50K ruck to get exactly what we wanted. Should be fun. We're gonna keep it going. Like I said, we're over a quarter of the way in. We're feeling good though, right, Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going. Little update. The precipitation has started.
13 years ago.
It just adds to the fun.
All right, we joined them for a 2-mile hike. Say hi, Katie. Hello. And it's raining.
Okay, we just finished our first of 3 9-mile loops. Jeff just went to the toilet. Hope he's okay. And we've got about 18.3 miles left. We shifted up our first 9-mile loop to meet up with some people. So we're gonna make that back on this one. We're just gonna keep it going. I just had some more oats and yogurt. I do have a special surprise meal with me. We'll see if we'll get into it, and stay tuned. We're having a good time. The rain has stopped a little bit, which is nice. So, peace.
29.6 miles. We got 1.4 miles to go here at Lebanon Hills. We're 1 minute shy of 11 hours right now. Whoa, boy.
Oh, buddy, that was something.
Dude, 50K ruck. We just finished.
My shoulders are the most sore.
11 hours, 39 minutes, 2,300, almost 2,400 feet of elevation gain, 31 miles with a 30 fucking pound pack, dude.
How you feeling, Jeff?
Dude, I'm feeling, I'm hurting, but I'm feeling good. How are you feeling?
I feel good.
Dude.
I'm glad it wasn't 32 miles. Oh, my shoulders are so sore. Oh.
Dude, hell fucking yeah. Hold on.
Oh.
Let me tell, 31.06, 20, 23, 11, 39, 35.
11 hours, 39, 35. Jeff's in better shape than I am. We're done.
Dude.
Holy shit.
We just rucksacked 31 miles, 50K, 30 pound pack.
I'm going to sit down. That was something. We'll definitely do it again. Yeah, 100%. I finished. I was in a very dark place for the last hour and a half, last 3 miles. I'm so sore. My shoulders, my traps, my feet. But the sun's shining and the task is accomplished. There it was. That was the highlights from the ruck. Again, like I mentioned, I wish I would have taken more videos. I was very fatigued, very tired though, and it wasn't my top priority. My top priority was just finishing. And like I mentioned, definitely planning to do it again, and I will try to video more in the future. So the aftermath of the ruck, what happened to me physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all these things. I will say immediately after, we went to my fiance's parents' house. We had fajitas. They were delicious. I didn't eat as much as I thought I would. I had a good amount on the day. I think I ate about 5,000 calories on the day, but still was probably in a deficit with all the movement that I did. But I was really, really tired. Honestly, I was talking to my father-in-law to be, and he was sharing about his recent trip to the Boundary Waters or Quetico, which is where you portage in with canoes and go camping and everything. And he asked me how I felt as I was sitting in this chair, just like this, like just so defeated, right? And he asked, how I felt, and the word that came to mind for me was just grit and willpower and just the ability to do it. Because not gonna lie, the last probably 3 miles, I slowed down a ton. My foot was hurting really bad. I was just in a lot of overall soreness and pain in my entire body. And he brought up the term despondency or despondent, which, a term I'm familiar with, but wasn't as much. And the definition of despondent, just so you know, this is exactly how I was feeling afterwards, is in low spirits from loss of hope or courage, which is honestly pretty accurate for how I felt. Again, it was intense. It did get relatively hot, especially towards the end. We did go through a mini thunderstorm, and it was just a lot of movement in one day. And I did feel a little bit despondent carrying a pack that far. And then in the days after, so, I'll include some pictures here. It was definitely fun to have, my fiance, my stepkids, my sister, also one of my friends and clients came and joined us for a good portion of the ruck as well. And again, just some still shots I want to share here. But I also thought for the couple days after, so I did it on a Saturday, and that Sunday and Monday, I actually thought my foot was broken. I've broken my foot before. It hurt to put pressure on my foot, to say the least. So I'll actually include a picture here. I did go and get x-rays from another friend of mine who's a chiropractor, JP, shout out. Thanks so much for doing that. My foot indeed was not broken. It was just very sore from the tendons, ligaments, and muscles working for so long in a very repetitive manner. So I was good to go. I was walking fine by about Friday that week. So physically, I think I only got better from doing this, right? Like I said, it really started getting hard probably at about 22 miles in, 22 to 24 miles in. And that last probably, 9 to 7 mile stretch was brutal, especially the last 3 miles. Like I said, so we were making probably like a 3.7 mile per hour pace for a lot of it. Not going super quick, but definitely moving with some pace. And then the last 3 miles, I think I dropped to almost like a 2 mile per hour pace. Like I was struggling big time, to say the least. So just being able to see it through, I think, some of my biggest takeaways from doing this, I don't have anything written out here. I'm just going off of, what I can tell you that I've experienced from it. So number one, I would say it's just the ability to do hard things. It's the ability to commit to something that seems like a crazy challenge, something that maybe feels a little bit outside of your comfort zone, and something that feels like it's going to be an absolute stretch of your physical capabilities, being able to see it through and complete the whole thing, it just gave me perspective on what my body's actually capable of. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, I've had a lot of people from doctors, friends, colleagues, other people in my past who have doubted me and my physical abilities. And this proved that I can do whatever I set my mind to. That doesn't mean I'm going to start doing Ironmans or anything like that. But again, something that you commit to and seeing it through. I think a second big takeaway is just the importance of community and camaraderie. I can assure you that if it wasn't for Jeff, for Tom, for Jess, my fiance, for my sister, my brother in law, everyone who came up and showed up and walked miles with us, I will say if it was just Jeff and I, we probably would have done it, but it wouldn't have been nearly as fun. But if Jeff wasn't there with me, I can wholeheartedly say it would have been extremely challenging for me to complete and finish this entire 50K Ruck. So having that camaraderie and community, especially when you're doing challenging things, is a game changer. And then I think number 3, again, it comes back to that word that I mentioned already, which is grit, tenacity, discipline, willpower, the ability to just get through and do the things. I can tell you that I had to dig deep, especially in those last couple miles, but being able to get through that at a time where I maybe subconsciously wanted to quit a little bit, I'm only going to be stronger and better because of it. So those are my takeaways. That was my experience doing a 50K ruck. I'm curious, are you going to do a 50K ruck? If you do, please let me know. I would love to hear about your story. And again, if you got value, if you enjoyed this, if you laughed, whatever you got from it, I would appreciate if you can like and subscribe. Also, there is a link in the show notes if you are interested in joining my free online inspired well-being community. Great place for resources and to get free workout programs, courses, again, connecting with other people who are on a similar journey. I'd love to see you there. So that's what I got. That was my journey with the 50K Ruck. I'll let you know when I'm doing my next one. And as always, until next time, keep inspiring.